I used to make $80,000 a year, yet I would stare at my bank account on the 29th of every month, sweating because my balance was under $1,000. I was not driving a leased Porsche. I was not wearing a Rolex. I did not take luxury vacations to the Maldives. On paper, I was middle class, doing everything exactly right. But in reality, I was practically broke. If you are watching this and you feel like you are working harder than ever, but your net worth is barely moving, I know exactly how you feel. The system makes you think you need a massive raise to build wealth. But the truth is far more quiet and insidious. You are likely bleeding money every single day, not because you are wildly irresponsible, but because you are paying something I call the convenience tax. We live in a society that is literally designed to drain your wallet the moment you feel exhausted. When you work 40 to 50 hours a week, coming home to cook a meal, organize your life, or manage your finances feels like climbing a mountain. So you pay for convenience. You buy back a tiny bit of comfort. But what you are actually doing is selling your long-term financial freedom for a momentary sigh of relief. Today, we are going to expose the 7 everyday habits that are silently keeping you trapped in the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. These are the exact habits I had to brutally cut out of my life to go from constantly stressing about rent to building actual life-changing wealth. The wealthy do not fall into these psychological traps. They understand how the system works, and they absolutely refuse to pay the convenience tax that keeps the middle class broke. If you want to finally break out of this exhausting cycle and start keeping the money you work so hard for, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. We are diving deep into the psychology of why your money disappears and exactly how to fix it, starting today. Let us look at the first invisible trap that is draining your salary without you even noticing. Let us talk about the trap I call the I deserve it delivery tax. Picture this. It is 6:30 on a Tuesday evening. You just survived 9 hours of meetings, emails, and a commute that drained whatever soul you had left for the day. You open your fridge and see raw chicken, some wilted spinach, and a profound amount of effort standing between you and dinner. So, what do? You pull out your phone, open Uber Eats or DoorDash, and tell yourself, I worked hard today, I deserve a break. You order a $20 meal, but with service fees, delivery fees, and a tip, it suddenly costs $35. You are not paying for the food. You are paying a massive premium for the convenience of not having to cook. This is the ultimate comfort trap. The middle-class mentality says, I am exhausted from making money for someone else, so I will spend my own money to buy an hour of peace. It feels like self-care, but financially, it is self-sabotage. Doing this just twice a week costs you over $3,500 a year. That is $3,500 vanishing into thin air for lukewarm fries and temporary relief. The wealthy think completely differently about food and time. A broke mindset trades future wealth for instant comfort today. A wealthy mindset understands that meal prepping on a Sunday or cooking a simple 15-minute dinner is an act of paying your future self. The rich do buy convenience, absolutely. But they buy back their time to build a business, learn a high-income skill, or manage their investments. They do not buy time just to sit on the couch and binge-watch Netflix. If you are ordering food to recover from a job you hate, you are financing your own misery. Stop rewarding your exhaustion with expensive, mediocre delivery. Next is what I call the subscription graveyard. This is one of the most brilliant and evil psychological tricks modern corporations have ever invented. You sign up for a streaming service to watch one specific show. You download a meditation app you use for 3 days. You get a gym membership you swear you will start using next Monday. The companies know you will not use it, and they are counting on it. Why? Because it is only $9.99 a month. Our brains are wired to ignore small, recurring pain. We look at a $10 charge and think, that is less than a cup of coffee. It is not worth the hassle of finding my password to cancel it. But the convenience of doing nothing is slowly bleeding you dry. The average person right now has between 8 and 12 active subscriptions they either forgot about or barely use, costing them over $1,000 a year. It is a slow leak in a boat that you are desperately trying to row toward financial independence. Here is the difference between how the rich and the poor handle passive cash flow. The poor and the middle class have passive expenses. Money automatically leaves their bank accounts every single month without them lifting a finger. The wealthy, on the other hand, build passive income. They set up systems where money automatically enters their bank accounts every single month. If you want to stop being broke, you have to plug the holes in your boat before you try to paddle faster. Go through your bank statements for the last 30 days. If you have not used a subscription in the last 2 weeks, cancel it immediately. You can always sign up again if you actually miss it. But I promise you, you will not. You are just paying a tax on your own procrastination. Let us move on to the third habit, which is paying the disorganization penalty. This one hurts because it is entirely self-inflicted. Have you ever paid a $35 late fee on a credit card just because you forgot what day it was? Have you ever bought an overpriced umbrella from a corner store because you did not check the weather? Or paid double for a flight because you waited until the last minute to book it? This is the tax you pay for living a reactive life instead of a proactive one. When I was making $80,000, I was losing hundreds of dollars a year purely to chaos. I would miss a utility bill payment, not because I did not have the money, but because I was too overwhelmed to open my mail or check my email. The convenience of putting things off until tomorrow literally compounds into a financial penalty. Here is the harsh truth about the wealth gap. Poor and middle-class people live their lives reacting to emergencies. They are constantly putting out fires, which is always the most expensive way to handle any situation. Wealthy people live proactively. They automate their savings, they automate their bill payments, and they plan their purchases in advance to get the best possible price. Being organized is not just a productivity hack, it is a fundamental wealth-building strategy. Every time you pay a late fee or an overdraft fee, you are literally giving the bank free money just because you could not take 10 minutes on a Sunday to organize your calendar. Stop paying the chaos tax. Take 1 hour this weekend to automate your financial life so you never hand your hard-earned money over to a bank simply because you forgot a due date. The fourth habit keeping you broke is the silent killer of wealth, the invisible lifestyle creep. Let me tell you exactly what happened when my salary jumped from $50,000 to $80,000. I thought I had finally made it. I felt rich. Suddenly, my perfectly fine apartment felt too small, so I moved into a place with nicer countertops, better lighting, and significantly higher rent. My reliable used car felt a little embarrassing in the company parking lot, so I financed a newer one. I stopped brewing regular coffee at home and started treating myself to premium lattes every morning. My income went up by $30,000, but my savings account did not grow by a single penny. Why? Because I fell into the trap of believing that my lifestyle needed to match my new paycheck. Society conditions us to believe that as we earn more, we deserve to show it. We upgrade our clothes, our cars, and our zip codes to signal to people we do not even really like that we are doing well in life. But this is exactly how you get trapped making $80,000 or even $150,000 a year and still living paycheck to paycheck. The convenience of simply swiping your card for a marginally nicer lifestyle keeps you running on a treadmill that never actually stops. The difference in mindset here is crystal clear. When the poor and the middle class get a raise, they immediately upgrade their lifestyle. They essentially just buy a nicer, more expensive cage to live in. When the wealthy get a raise, they upgrade their investment portfolio. They use that extra money to buy their ultimate freedom. If you get a $10,000 raise, that is not an invitation to increase your living expenses by $10,000. It is an extraordinary opportunity to buy back your future time. The true secret to getting wealthy and staying wealthy is learning to live like you are making $50,000, even when you start making $100,000. Let us talk about the fifth habit, which is the cheap illusion. Sometimes trying to save money is the exact thing making you broke. When I was struggling, I would buy a $30 pair of work shoes because I thought I was being financially responsible. 6 months later, the soles would fall apart and I would have to buy another $30 pair. Over 3 years, I spent $180 on garbage shoes that constantly hurt my feet. A wealthy person would just buy a $150 pair of high-quality boots that last for 10 years. You see, the middle-class mindset is obsessed with the immediate price tag. The convenience of spending less money today feels like a massive win. But the wealthy mindset evaluates everything based on long-term value and return on investment. If you buy cheap appliances that constantly break down, cheap clothes that rip after 2 washes, or cheap tools that ruin your weekend projects, you are paying a massive hidden tax. You are paying for the exact same item over and over again. Stop buying things just because they are on sale or because they are the cheapest option on the shelf. Save up your money and buy the highest quality item you can afford once. It will save you thousands of dollars and endless frustration over the course of a decade. Being cheap is entirely different from being frugal. Frugal people optimize for value, while cheap people optimize for the lowest number, regardless of the ultimate cost. The 6th habit draining your bank account is outsourcing your basic survival. I remember hiring someone to put together a basic desk for me and regularly paying a premium for a mobile car wash service to come to my apartment. I confidently told myself my time was far too valuable to be doing manual labor. But let us be brutally honest here. I was not using that saved hour to build a side business or read a book on investing. I was using it to scroll through social media and watch random videos. We have somehow convinced ourselves that doing our own laundry, cleaning our own apartments, or fixing a simple leaky pipe is beneath us if we make a certain salary. We gladly pay the convenience tax to outsource basic adult responsibilities. Here is the critical difference between how the rich and the poor handle hiring help. Broke people use their money to buy convenience so they can be lazy. Wealthy people use their money to buy back their time so they can be highly productive. If a successful entrepreneur pays someone $100 to clean their house, it is because they are using those 3 hours to generate $1,000 in their business. That is called leverage. If you pay someone $100 to clean your house so you can take a nap on the sofa, that is a luxury you simply cannot afford yet. Unless you are actively using your freed up time to increase your income, build a business, or drastically improve your health, you need to roll up your sleeves and do your own chores. Stop acting like a millionaire CEO when you are still trying to build your basic emergency fund. Let us talk about the final and absolutely most dangerous habit keeping you broke, the ultimate convenience tax, which is saving blindly instead of buying assets. When I finally started getting my act together and stopped paying for overpriced delivery and canceled my unused subscriptions, I felt like a financial genius. I was hoarding cash in a traditional savings account, watching the balance slowly grow. I thought I was winning, but I was actually paying an invisible tax called inflation. The convenience of simply leaving my money in a bank account because learning how to invest felt too complicated and overwhelming was secretly making me poorer every single year. The middle-class mentality is that saving money is the finish line. You put it in a safe place, you ignore it, and you hope for the best. The wealthy mentality is that saving money is only step 1. The real game is turning that saved cash into a soldier that goes out and captures more cash. If you just leave your money sitting under a digital mattress, it is losing its purchasing power. Rich people play offense. They endure the temporary discomfort of reading a book on index funds, opening a brokerage account, and learning how the stock market actually works. They refuse to pay the convenience tax of financial ignorance. You have to stop playing defense with your money. Take one weekend to learn the basics of investing. Put your money into assets that appreciate over time, like broad market index funds or real estate, instead of letting it rot in a checking account just because it is easier. Breaking these 7 habits is not about completely depriving yourself of joy or living like a monk. It is about waking up and realizing that the system is perfectly designed to extract your wealth one tiny, convenient transaction at a time. I used to think I was broke because I was not making enough money. The truth was, I was broke because I was trading my future freedom for temporary comfort. Once I stopped paying the convenience tax, my entire life changed. That $80,000 salary did not suddenly double, but the amount of money I actually kept and invested skyrocketed. I bought back my time, I built actual assets, and I finally escaped the suffocating anxiety of the paycheck to paycheck cycle. You can do the exact same thing starting right now. You do not need to be perfect tomorrow. Just start by canceling one subscription, cooking one extra meal at home this week, or automating your savings so you never pay another late fee. Take control of your money before someone else conveniently takes it from you. If this video opened your eyes to where your money is really going, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so we can keep building wealth together. I want to hear from you in the comments. Which of these convenience taxes have you been paying the most? Let me know down below. And then click the video on the screen right now to learn the exact step-by-step system I used to start investing my first $1,000. I will see you over there.